Hey, everybody, how are you? Great to be on with you. If you don't like that, the National Football League season gets underway soon. Cannot wait. September 4th. You know what else gets going soon? That's right. I'm coming back, baby. Can't wait. 2 weeks from today. Can't believe it. 2 weeks from today, Fox Sports Sacramento. 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Download the Fox Sports KSAC app. 2 weeks from today. Coming at you strong. Hope you're doing well. NFL news. I did a rant on this today. What is going on in Dallas? Can you imagine having a player the caliber of Micah Parsons and making it so that he doesn't want to play there anymore? I mean, how bad is that? Seriously. Arguably the best defensive player in football. You can't make that guy happy? I mean, Jerry Jones is delusional. Seriously. How bad is that? That's unbelievable to me. Really is. Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati said he's not going to play this year if he doesn't get a new deal. We'll see. The Bengals defense is not very good. Without him, they're awful. Offensively, tremendous. Defensively, not so. They need him on the field. And then, Terry McLaurin with Washington. Think about what he did last year with Jaden Daniels and how explosive they were. It's not early anymore. The opener is 2 weeks from Thursday. 2 weeks from Thursday. So, you got to get people in camp. You got to get them on the practice field. All right, the news in Indianapolis. Daniel Jones named the starter over Anthony Richardson. It really doesn't matter. They're going to be terrible. The Colts aren't going to be very good. So, I don't think it matters who plays quarterback there. Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. By the way, in Cleveland, Joe Flacco officially named the starter. I don't think anybody could be too surprised by that. So the Browns will go with the 40-year-old Flacco to call signals, and we get ready to start the final preseason games and then gear up towards week 1 in the National Football League. What do you want to talk about today? All right? What do you want to talk about? Huh? What do you think? What's on your mind? NFL? College? Andre says, my Saints are the only team left to announce their starting quarterback for week 1. Rattler looked good in our last preseason game against the Jaguars. Andre, I hate to say this, Kellen Moore's got his hands full in his first job there. I don't think it really matters. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't see them being relevant in that division. It's crazy Daniel Jones is still going to be a starting quarterback. I don't know if I would use the word crazy. Will I do my records for each team for the NFL? No, I won't. I never have. My thoughts about Daniel Jones getting the starting job? 6 one, half dozen the other. Richardson's not very good. Daniel Jones has had a disappointing career. A lot of people blame the team around him in New York. Well, the team in Indianapolis really is not that much better than what he had to work with the Giants. Yep, college football gets underway this weekend. Can't freaking wait. By the way, speaking of college football, and I've talked about this with F1. Do you know that I had never watched an F1 race until I watched Drive to Survive on Netflix? I think I watched it for the first time 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And now I watch every F1 race and I'm hooked. Have you? And by the way, college football is different. I've been watching college football since I was a kid. Any given Saturday on Netflix is great. Netflix does an amazing job with putting you behind the scenes. Any given Saturday on the SEC is spectacular. And it reinforces why I think that Brian Kelly is so out of place at LSU. When I look at the other coaches in the SEC on any given Saturday, and then look at Brian Kelly, no wonder why LSU is disappointing every year. I've never been a Brian Kelly fan. Never. Just don't think he has what it takes to get the team over the hump. That's my opinion on Kelly. He's just not a fit there in LSU. Not a fit there. My thoughts about the new Sacramento Republic Stadium being built at the rail yards. I love it. I've been talking with Kevin Nagel about this dream for many years. And I'm friends with Kevin, and we've had a lot of conversations. I was very close with what was going on, trying to get the MLS. And Ron Burkle basically left the bride standing at the altar. Ron Burkle completely jumped and jumped off the boat as the boat was just docking at the pier. And he left everyone hanging when the MLS was all basically signed, sealed, well, almost signed, sealed, and delivered to Sacramento. And he backed out at the last minute. And so, I don't know if MLS is coming to Sacramento, but I know the Sacramento Republic have a tremendous following, and they're going to build a first-class facility at the rail yards, and I think it's great for Sacramento. I think it's great. I really do. I think it's great. I really do. A lot of former Hornet football alumni like myself are pretty sad about it if it happens. I must have missed a prior. What are you referring to? Because I haven't. Oh, here we go. What's up, Grant? Sacramento State is in talks with Cal Expo to move the games over there. Terrible. Sac State is a commuter campus already. Why move the games to Cal Expo? That's not college. I agree. I don't understand that either. I really don't. Does it feel like the MLS expanded too much at this point? No question about it. And the expansion fees are ridiculous. So, yes, it has expanded too quickly. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but what's up with Rob Manfred? Expansion and realigning in the teams. In my humble opinion, they need fewer teams and reduce regular season. I'm with you. I don't like it either. But you know what? Baseball's a mess. It's a mess. And they can't figure out the right way to run their business. I'm with you 100%, Patrick. I really am. Grant, has your passion in the NFL and college football wavered at all over the years with so many changes to the game, conference realignment, nil? The NFL, no. At all. The NFL, not at all. College football, a little bit. I think college football's got a real problem on their hands right now with the nil and the portal. I think it's bad. I think the long-term effect is very bad. So college football, a little bit. NFL, no, not at all. I don't know what cancer Greg Papa has. No, and we wish him the very best. Please tell us DeMarcus stories. Why? Why do you want to know? Like, why? Like, hasn't that ship sailed? Aren't we done with that? I will share. I will do one thing for you. All right? Because I've read this book twice, and I actually took a screenshot because I thought that this summed up everything perfectly as it relates to Cousins. It was Paul Westfall's book. And, I have great affinity for Paul, and it's just hard to believe that he's gone and we lost him to brain cancer. He had a chapter in his book, part of a chapter, talking about DeMarcus Cousins. And I thought what he said in one simple paragraph summed up everything. He said, the party line of those who knew him was, quote, DeMarcus has a good heart. He just needs to mature. I had said those exact words myself and tried my best to believe that too, but the post DeMarcus' analysis of those left in his wake was quite different. Without going into private detail, the self-described, misunderstood, large human being had a history of feeling unfairly treated and abused by referees, coaches, fans, media, police, teachers, bus drivers, teammates, strength coaches, and most importantly, I suspect, his father. There you have it. Nothing else needs to be said. That summarizes it much, much better than I ever could. It's always somebody else's fault. Never look in the mirror and take accountability. Hey, New Works Plumbing, they take accountability with everything they do. They are awesome. Plumbing repairs, plumbing needs, New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. They are available around the clock 24/7. Call the number on your screen, or don't forget newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. So, I'm not going to get into it any more than that. Bella B in Calgary. How are the Flames going to be this year? And I know you hate Edmonton, but are they going to get over the hump? I know you're hoping that they don't. I get that. But I'm just wondering, 2 straight defeats in the finals to the same Florida Panthers. Are they going to get a chance to get back there? Not that far away to hockey season, Bella. Can't wait. Grant, been listening to you for 25 years. Looking forward to your return on a bigger platform. I am planning a 10-day road trip with my wife to Bangkok. Where to stay? Hotel or Airbnb? Expat favorite area? I would do hotel for sure. Depending on what time of the year you go, the prices vary, high season, low season. If you're taking your wife, personally, I would stay at the river. I would look at the Shangri-La Hotel, which is very reasonable. Beautiful hotel. I've stayed there before. 5-star hotel. If your budget's a little bit more, the Peninsula on the river is phenomenal. If your budget is really, really high, the Mandarin Oriental is one of the top hotels in all of Asia, right on the river in Bangkok. It is spectacular. They have a new Four Seasons that is there as well. If it were me, I would stay on the river. Check out Icon Siam, ICONSIAM, a relatively new 1.6 billion with a B dollar mall restaurants. They have a thing on the first floor called the Floating Market. It's unbelievable. Food galore, and it's called the Floating Market. They have the largest Starbucks on the world overlooking the skyline and the river. On the 6th floor, they have a great outdoor terrace restaurants. Icon Siam, right next to all the hotels that I just mentioned, by the way. So if it were me, when I did take my wife, that's where we stayed. We stayed at the Shangri-La, and it really wasn't that expensive, relatively speaking, for a 5-star hotel. Beautiful property. So those are some of the tips that I would give you. Best expat area. There's a place on Soy 23. Soy stands for street, called Craft, CRAFT 23. It's where all of the expats hang out. It is an outdoor beer garden, restaurant. They've got a wine bar, and they have a phenomenal cigar bar called Whiskars. It's a whiskey cigar bar. It's very first class, very beautiful, with live music at nights. It's all one place. It's called Craft 23. And you'll see right near the bar, there's a bunch of tables put together with the host, Randy, who's been there for 35 years. And most of the expats in Bangkok hang out there. It's a great place. Anything else? No charge, by the way. No charge. Next question. John Berry was good or no? Jon. John was great. Love JB. Love JB. Good friend of mine. I hear the roadways are crazy in Bangkok. That true? During rush hour, yeah, it's a little crowded. But what makes it crazy is there's thousands of motorbikes everywhere. So being in a car and driving a car in Bangkok, you have to, like, you can't be doing anything other than looking at where you are at all times. Like, don't even think of looking at your phone or anyone else. You have to look because you got bikes all over you. But it's great. But there's mass transit everywhere. The BTS system and the MRT, they're basically commuter train system is phenomenal. Same to the airport. Let me ask you something. Anywhere in America where you can take a train to the airport from downtown that takes 22 minutes, that costs $1.25. Anywhere in America that you can do that, where you can hop on a train and 22 minutes later you're at the big international airport for $1.25? Yeah, I didn't think so. Just passing that on for you. Or is this a sports show or a travel show? What is this? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? All right, here we go. Grant, I don't know if you remember me talking about this last week, but this weekend I completed my first 72-hour fast. It was hard, but I feel so much better. Thank you for the encouraging words. Congratulations. I've done it twice. It's not easy. Mind over matter. I've been doing intermittent fasting 5 days a week, and I eat between 12 and 8, and I don't eat between 8 and noon. And it's been great. John wants to know if Ryan will take the call on your new show. John, come on. Come on, John. Come on. Says, you do get a lot of travel questions on here usually. Grant is an expert at travel advice too. I tried to. I've only gone to one Muay Thai fight in Thailand. Does any one NFL game in history stand out to you as the best game ever played? Well, the game that my dad was at Yankee Stadium between Baltimore and the Giants was considered the greatest NFL game ever played. Alan Amici winning it in overtime. But I've been to so many NFL games. My greatest thrill, I have two. Well, I have more than two. I have a handful, all involving the New York Giants. Being at the Super Bowl with my two boys in 2011 in Indianapolis is at the very top of my list. That was an extraordinary experience to share with my kids. And just getting to Indianapolis after announcing a game that went into overtime the night before and driving to San Francisco to get on a 12:20 red eye through Dallas into Indianapolis and landing on Sunday morning was quite an experience just to make the flight. But being at my first Super Bowl, January 25th, 1987, when I was making very little money, my income in 1987 was less than $15,000 a year. And getting to the Super Bowl 24 hours before kickoff at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena and selling my extra ticket for $750, and that the entire experience of being at that Super Bowl, I can't really put it into words. The last game I was at with my dad and brother, the last game my father ever went to, Giants, Vikings, NFC championship game. Giants won 41-0, 2001. That's always special because I've been to hundreds of games with my dad, but that was the last one he went to. And then being on the field with the ball going over my head, standing on the end line in 91 when the Giants beat the Niners in the NFC championship game. Those are the games. Greatest memory at Arco Arena, Game 3, Kings Sonics, 95-96 season, when the team came out onto the floor. Nothing like it. I mean, to this day, that's the loudest I had ever heard the arena. Incredible. Nothing like it. That was Just an amazing experience standing on the floor when the team came out for the first playoff game at Arco Arena. Am I excited for Stanley to call into the new show? Yeah, that would be nice. I don't know where Stanley is. Haven't heard from him. You know? Haven't heard from him. Have not heard from him. Is that Mitch or Bibby? Well, Mitch Richmond. Mitch was spectacular. Trip advising Napier. That's exactly right. You have questions? I'll answer them for you when it comes to travel. If I haven't been there and haven't experienced it, I will tell you, not my cup of tea, or I haven't done it. Paul George said today that the reason Carmelo failed was because Billy Donovan had a plan for Westbrook and him, but not Carmelo. Where was Carmelo successful in the NBA? Name me one place that he made the team better. I'm waiting. 2011 49ers Giants game, great game. My dad was at that game. Special team matters, as we all know. Obviously, Giants won it in overtime. Pretty special for me. And, the 2 fumbles by Williams. Giants got every break, Carmelo was so overrated. I agree with you. I thought he was overrated too. Tremendous individual player, never made anyone better. John said, there are not a lot of great places in Cleveland, but Grant sent me to the nicest one. Yes, I did, John. Yes, I did. You got questions? Napes has answers. You are right about that. I remember your Carmelo rants back in the day. Yeah, I remember them too. Absolutely. Put-in Bay in the airport. Yep, that's exactly right. Yep, absolutely right. No question. Do I like fishing? Not really. Not my thing. I did go deep sea fishing and caught some great red snapper, but not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Because the Kings are fishing for Jonathan Kuminga and Russell Westbrook. Dennis, stop it already. Dennis, why do you allow this to consume your life, Dennis? Why? Like, why? Like, that's going to make the Kings better, Dennis? What's that going to do for the Kings? What's Russell Westbrook going to do for the Kings, Dennis? What's Kuminga going to do for the Kings? Why? Was Quincy Doobie good? No, he was not. Seriously, Dennis, get a life. Come on, buddy. Come on. What's wrong with you, Dennis? Labor Day weekend's coming up. It's football season. Don't ask me about Carmelo. Didn't help with Linsanity. Not saying Jeremy Lin would have lasted for Carmelo. Didn't help the situation. I'll tell you a story, Patrick. I did a game at Madison Square Garden in the height of Linsanity. And I couldn't remember walking down the streets of Manhattan and seeing the Jeremy Lin and the Linsanity shirts and jerseys everywhere. I'll never forget walking past Modell's on 42nd Street. For the people that don't know, Modell's is a huge sporting goods store, sports apparel and everything. It's huge. The entire window was nothing but Jeremy Lin and Linsanity stuff. No, this was football season, Patrick. No New York Giants, no Jets. Everything was Knicks, no Rangers. Everything was Linsanity. And Carmelo was hurt. And I walked into Madison Square Garden that night. You got to understand, Patrick, like yourself. I mean, I'm from New York. I've been going to Madison Square Garden ever since I was a baby. The energy and the electricity for that game with Jeremy Lin was the best that I had experienced in my 32 years of announcing the NBA at Madison Square Garden. Nothing could have topped that. And then when Carmelo came back from his injury, everything changed. Linsanity took over New York, took over Madison Square Garden, and he was unstoppable. He destroyed the Kings that night. The buzz in that arena is something I will never forget when I announced that game. It was unfreaking believable. I pray and dream about it. Dennis, you're delusional, my friend. Ah, Jay's in Alaska. Beautiful. Enjoy your time in Alaska, Jay, and it's great to have you here on If You Don't Like That. Alaska is something I've never done. I really need to do it. I really need to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Well, the fishing in Alaska is great. I do know that. I've got friends that go up there every summer and go fishing, and they bring back vacuum-packed halibut and salmon. It's spectacular, they say. Have a great time, Jay. Have a great time. Man, that sounds great. August in Alaska. That sounds freaking awesome. It really does. Tell you what else is awesome. Bennett's with their prime seafood and steaks. I wonder if they have any prime seafood from Alaska. I bet they do. Knowing Brian. Salmon. Yeah. I guarantee you they do. I know Brian and what he does, whether it's Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill in Rockland. It's awesome. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. I cannot wait. I will be there next week. I'm pumped. I will be there the following week and the following week, and I can go on and on and on because I love Bennett's prime seafood and steaks. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com to make a reservation. Hey, if I'm there and you're there, please come up and say hello. All right? Come up and introduce yourself and say hi if you see me at one of the 3 locations beginning next week. Prime seafood and steaks at Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Good for Jay. Good for Jay. Alaska, where the sun is out at midnight. Yep, in the summer. Sure is. Sure is. You're welcome, Patrick. That was unbelievable. I'll never forget it, Patrick. I was blessed that I had a chance to do a game at MSG in the middle of the Linsanity peak. It was great. Is Marv Albert my favorite play-by-play voice in league history? Yes. Not even a close second. Love Marv. Grant, Thailand or Vietnam, where would you live and why? It's just personal preference. I've been to both. I would live in Thailand if I had a choice. I love the culture. Not that I don't love the culture in Vietnam, but and for the record, I've only been to Da Nang and Hoi An in Vietnam. I haven't been to Hanoi. I haven't been to Ho Chi Minh City, which is Saigon. So, in all fairness, I've only been in one area of Vietnam, and I loved it. Spectacular with a capital S, but I would probably go Thailand. The cosmopolitan vibe of Bangkok when I'm there, the people, the food, the malls, the mass transit, close to the beautiful islands and beaches, affordability, that's just my own personal preference. I have a lot of friends, though, that live in Vietnam, and they swear by it. Have I ever ate the scorpions? No, I have never had a scorpion. I don't do exotic food, so I would never even try it. I have been to Tokyo. The Kings played over in Tokyo, I want to say maybe 2002 or 2000. I can't remember. The Kings opened up the season, 2 regular season games against the Timberwolves. So when Jason Williams was on the Kings. 2 games over in Tokyo. We were over there for a whole week. It was great. I haven't been back since, though. Only the airports. Only the airports. I'm okay moving Devin Carter for Westbrook. Why? First of all, you're not going to move anyone, but why? Why would you trade a young player with a lot of potential for a 37-year-old who's at the end of his career? Why would you do that for? Why? That's like trading in your 2-year-old, that's like trading in your 2023 vehicle for a 2012 vehicle. Like, why would you do that? Why? Makes no sense. I would never do that. And I don't know how Devin Carter's going to get on the floor, but there are injuries, there are trades. I would never do that. Never. I mean, I don't know why you would do that. Will I be attending Kings games? No, I will not. I will be doing post-game shows. I will be doing major content on the Kings, but I will not be going to a game. But I will be doing, with Rhino, 82 post-game shows. I don't want any players taking time from the young drafted guys unless they are superstars. It's a good point. Westbrook would take playing time from people that need it. The Kings aren't there. So why would you, Jerry Reynolds said it best a week or two ago. What are the Kings? Like, what's their identity? Said they're an old team. Like, what's the reason for that? Like, where's that going to take you? You got a 32-year-old point guard, a 36-year-old starting small forward. You got Zach LaVine with a contract you can't move. Now you want Russell Westbrook? Like, why? That makes no sense. Nothing. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Dennis, you think the Kings are going to the playoffs? You're delusional. Dennis, nobody thinks the Kings are going to the playoffs, so don't be one of those people that think the Kings are going to the playoffs. Like, how are they going to go to the playoffs? Everyone else in the West is going to get hurt? This team's not going to the playoffs. Come on. And the play-in is not the playoffs. You got to be in the playoffs. 8-1, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. That's the playoffs. I did talk about the Colts at the top of the show, yes. Getting Westbrook would be like getting Vince Carter all over again. Well, I'm glad they got Vince Carter. I loved him. What a great guy to be around. Great guy. What a pro. Man, I loved him. That was such a treat to be around Vince every day. What a great man. Love him. Also love Sunrise Landing in Calusa. Go to CalusaSunrise.com. Get all the information on these beautiful models, 6 on all to choose from. Remember, no Mellorews, no homeowners, adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. Good access, too. You get there, I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. This Blazona development project has so much to offer in beautiful Calusa and Sunrise Landing. Again, go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out Sunrise Landing. Don't forget to check out me 2 weeks, 3 o'clock. Just so you know, I'll be doing the show from 3 to 6, live, Fox Sports, 104.7 FM, 890 AM. Then I'll be doing this show at 7 o'clock. Can't wait. Going to be working. 3 hours on the radio, whatever you want to do here. We'll have the Kings post-game shows. Dennis, during the regular season. Yeah. Said, at that time, was there any other bidder besides Vivek who could have kept the Kings in Sacramento? Not on the dinner plate of the commissioner, but there would have been. But here's the difference. At that juncture, with the time constraints and the meeting of the Board of Governors on May 15th, the league needed an owner that they had already vetted. The vetting process to become an owner, whether it's a managing general partner or a minority owner, is a lengthy, arduous process. And Vivek had already been vetted as a minority owner with the Warriors. That had a lot to do with it. That had a lot to do with it. Do I believe in Scott Perry? I will say this about Scott Perry. He deserves a chance just like anyone else that takes the job. I'm going to give him 3 years the same way I give everyone else 3 years. So it's not a matter of whether I believe in him or not, because that doesn't matter. I'm giving him 3 years. I'm giving him 3 years. In my opinion, he has a huge mountain to climb. A huge mountain to climb. It's going to be very, very difficult. Will there be Fox Sports Grant merchandise available? Stay tuned. You never know. You never know. You never know what's around the corner, right? You're welcome. Thank you for your question. And to answer Grant's question, we get back to scoring and rebounding like we did a few years ago. Yeah, okay, Dennis. Dennis has got a pipe. I think Dennis dreams that the Kings are going to win the championship every night. And then he wakes up and realizes that it was not a dream, it was a nightmare. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. I love optimism. I really do. I like optimism. But I don't like walking around with blinders on. Dennis is walking around with blinders on. Good point. We give 3 years. Coaches and GMs gone in 2 years. It seems like that's the way it goes, huh? After this failure of a season, you'll see Domas request a trade. 100% that will happen. That will 100% happen if the Kings have a failed season. Now, my definition of a failed season is not being one of the top 8 playoff teams. That's my definition of a failed season. Dennis's version of a failed season would be if they canceled the Sacramento Kings season and they weren't allowed to play. If they went 1-81, Dennis would pick out the positive from the one win over the 81 losses. Me, I'm not like that. A failed season to me would be anything other than a top 8 seed. That's a failed season. There we go. Dennis says, I mean, if they come out and just play 50-50 ball, then yeah, I'll agree with Grant. All right, so Dennis, let me ask you, 41-41 in your opinion is not a good season for this team? I want to make sure that we're on the same page. You think 41-41 would be bad for this team? See, to me, I think that would be I don't think they're going to win 41 games. But I'm just curious how you feel about that. Because I don't see this team being any more than a 50-50 team. I don't. And have you, Dennis, I know you've gone over their November schedule. It's brutal, is it not? I'm wondering if they have a real bad month, are they going to be able to catch up? I don't know. I could see this thing snowballing out of control if it goes, if they're buried after November, it's going to be a really tough climb. They're going to have to hope that a couple of the teams they're playing have some key guys out, like Oklahoma City and Minnesota, who they played 3 times during that stretch. Do I like Zach LaVine? Not for the Kings. I think he's a dynamic scorer, but I don't think he makes you better. I agree, Grant. Too many Kings fans make up so many excuses for this franchise. It's time the fans held them accountable for this disaster. Noah says the Kings would be fortunate to win 38. What 8 teams are better than the Kings? Well, right now, without knowing what moves could be made, Oklahoma City, Denver, right? Minnesota. Any question about that? Those 3? Do we agree on that right off the top? Oklahoma City, Denver, Minnesota. So we got 3 right off the get-go, right? 5 more. The Clippers are better than the Kings. The Lakers are better than the Kings. Houston's better than the Kings. In my opinion, San Antonio's better than the Kings right now. In my opinion, Dallas is better than the Kings right now. In my opinion, Memphis is better than the Kings right now. In my opinion, Golden State is better than the Kings right now. So let's say I'm wrong with 2. Let's throw out Dallas and Golden State. That's still 8 teams that are above you. In my opinion, Portland will be as good, if not better than Sacramento. Here are the teams that I think are clearly worse than Sacramento without any hesitation. Utah and Phoenix. That's my pick. Noah. OKC, Rockets, Nuggets, Clippers, Mavs, Warriors, Lakers, Wolves are 8 teams better than that order. I can't disagree with that. That is more than 8, but all of Texas, I would agree. You know, a real key with Dallas is when Kyrie Irving comes back and how will he be? But I look at their roster, and if Flag is as good as people say, listen, I don't know if you watched the game that I watched. I watched the Dallas Mavericks play the Sacramento Kings in a play-in in Sacramento without Kyrie Irving, and they toyed with them. They toyed with them. Oh, Anthony Davis? They toyed with them. It was like men against boys. Watch out for Portland this year. Watch out for Portland. I like what they're doing. I really do. Houston's going to be good. San Antonio, I think, will be better than the Kings, but they've got to put it all together. And they look flashy on paper. I'm not crazy about Fox. Will Wembanyama be able to stay healthy? You know, there's still a lot of question marks in San Antonio. Like, you just don't go from being as bad as they were last year, record-wise, and just assume, well, gee, they got this player and that player, and they're going to be no, you got to go out and earn it. You know? Got to go out and earn it. I'm not ready to go there just yet. Houston, even though I'm not crazy about Durant, they're still good. They're very well coached. Denver, to me, is going to challenge for the West. Golden State could falter with their age. I mean, I could see that happening. So Clippers, though, are better. Memphis is a question mark because John Morant, you don't know what is going to happen there. You also have, it looks like Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey will not be ready to start the season. So that they could get off to a slow start, have to play catch up. They don't have Desmond Bane anymore. Is Fox too old to run with the Spurs? Come on. Denver getting Valanciunas, that hurts. Agree with you 100%. I think that's a significant loss for Sacramento. A significant loss. Grant, this is Jerry. I've been to Vegas on my only flight. Do you fear with all the issues aviation has had? What would you tell people that are scared of flying? I would tell people that are scared of flying that the most dangerous part of your trip is getting to the airport. Once you get to the airport, you're home free. That's what I would tell people if they have a fear of flying. You should have much more fear of getting in the car and driving to the airport than you do of getting on an airplane. That would be my little tip. I don't know if that helps for people that have a fear of flying, but that's just the reality. I agree. Memphis does have a lot of question marks, but they also have a lot of talent. Yes, I think the Spurs will finish ahead of the Kings. Doesn't matter by a lot. They only have to finish ahead by one game. But yes, I do, by a few games. Listen, every team has question marks except for Oklahoma City, Denver, and Minnesota. They don't have any question marks. The Clippers have question marks. Memphis has question marks. The Warriors have question marks. The Lakers have question marks. Dallas has question marks. I mean, it's part of sports. I flew around the world over 100 times. It's nothing. Good for you. Clippers are old. That's what I mean. They're very talented, but they've got some age on them. But I also like the moves they made in this offseason. What did the Kings do to get better this year? Well, they got Dennis Schroeder, right? They don't have Jake LaRavia, who was very good coming off the bench. You draft Nick Clifford, who you hope is going to be able to fill in that void and play 20 minutes a night. You don't have Valanciunas, who is a really good player. You draft Max. And so Max is a guy that looked good in Summer League, but he's not Valanciunas. And anybody that thinks he's Valanciunas is delusional. And Max Reynaud looked good. But he's not Jonas Valanciunas. Come on now. I mean, come on. We got Sarge and Eubanks. Dennis, would you stop it, please? Stop it. Stop it. Those who fear flying, look where it takes you once you get off. Unless you're going to Cleveland. Mavericks, even without Kyrie, have a great roster. Front court of AD and Lively. Flag can play the small forward spot. Clay at shooting guard. Russell at point guard till Kyrie is back. Then PJ Washington, Gafford, Najee Marshall bench. I agree with you. I don't disagree with that. My first flight was a decade ago from Orange County to Sacramento, and the dipping scared me. Took my first international flight to Hong Kong 6 years ago, and those 15 hours killed my fear for good. Good. Well, the dipping, they normally will tell you the noise abatement rule flying out of Orange County, and the pilots will normally tell you ahead of time, hey, we are going to be making quite an ascent, and then we'll be backing off on the power. Don't be alarmed. It's for the noise abatement rules around the airport, and it's all routine. Don't be alarmed. That's what they normally say. I'm more worried about the mental toughness of our team. Why are the Kings so soft? I don't know. I think Schroeder will help in that regard. I like him. I think Dennis Schroeder is going to be a nice addition for Sacramento. All right, you're on, Dennis. 8th or better, I'll buy you dinner at Bennett's or lunch. Your choice. You're on. Deal. Deal, Dennis. Got you. Philip likes that. Dennis wants a steak. I'll get Dennis whatever he wants. Yeah, we have a deal. I honor my deals. I'm good. No problem. All right, don't forget. Dennis, you're going to be with me 2 weeks from today, buddy, at 3 o'clock? You're going to be listening? How about everyone else? You're going to be on at 3 o'clock, September 2nd, 2 weeks from today? 104.7 FM, 890 AM, Sacramento. Be sure and download the Fox Sports KSAC app. All right? Yeah, you'll always be able to listen. The West got better than it was last year, which is saying something. I agree with you, Noah. I agree with you. All right, tomorrow I am back. All right? You're right about that, Dennis. We're all together, my friend. Tomorrow again, 7 o'clock, right here on If You Don't Like That. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye now.